Moi everyone and welcome to Finnish Plate. The Wiener Schnitzel, of course, is a service station classic. But there's another steak item which is just as or even more popular at roadside service stations than that. It is the minute steak or cubed steak, sometimes called in Finnish Lehtipihvi. It's often served with fries, but many times also with some garlic or in this case blue cheese potatoes with maybe a salad on the side. So join me and I'll show you how to make this steak classic. First, we'll make the blue cheese potatoes. We'll just take some regular yellow or red potatoes. Waxy potatoes are good for this dish because it's going to be cooking for a good while in the oven, for about an hour or 2 hours if you have a large vessel. Well, I'm just going to peel them. You could certainly leave the peels on too if you want. No shame in that. Now I'm going to take my best knife and then just slice these potatoes very thin. You could definitely use a mandolin here too. However, some people prefer the thicker cut. It's up to you. But if you slice your potatoes very thin like this, I think you get that luxurious mouthfeel that comes with the dish. Okay, so now let's peel a couple cloves of garlic too. I think garlic heads are a little bit like chili heads sometimes. They go a little overboard. Some people certainly like to put a lot of garlic in dishes. I like garlic, but there's a limit to everything, just like with chili. So we're going to do 2 cloves. And we're going to give them the same treatment we did for the potatoes. Now, if you want more garlic flavor, you could use a garlic crusher like this one, because the smaller pieces the garlic is, the more garlic flavor you get. Let's slice these up pretty thin. Now we're going to take our oven-proof vessel, and what we're going to do is we're going to layer the potatoes, a few pieces of potatoes, a couple of slices of garlic, then some blue cheese, and then we're going to put some white pepper. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And a pinch of salt. And we're going to keep repeating this over and over again until our baking vessel is full. And the last layer of potatoes. Now we're going to fill this container with heavy cream. Just leave maybe about an inch or so space on the top, because this will foam in the oven. And this is going to go into 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, 175 Celsius for at least an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on the size of your container. If it starts to burn a little bit too much, if you notice that it starts to burn a little bit too much, especially around the edges, cover it with foil. Now that the potatoes are out of the way, we're going to prep our steak. I have here some top round cutlets. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one cutlet out of here. And we're gonna take our mallet here and then just tenderize the meat. This steak is already pretty large in size, so I don't need to do a lot of tenderizing. Just keep flattening it with your mallet until it's about this size. Now, of course, the best cut for this dish is something a little bit more tougher cut, like top round, for example. Don't use fillet or anything like that in this dish. This is a very cheap dish done with a cheap cut of meat. Last thing what we're going to do is we're going to salt this. When you have a whole cut of meat like this one, it's always a good idea to salt it well in advance, because the salt by itself will also help tenderize the meat and keep it more juicy when you cook it. If you salt it immediately before cooking, the salt will not have a chance to penetrate deeper into the meat itself. Okay, so now we're pretty much ready. We're just gonna wait for the potatoes to cook, and after the potatoes are done, we're gonna fry this piece of steak. Our potatoes are out of the oven. Our pan is super hot, so it's time to fry our minute steak. Put a little oil in there. And soon we'll find out why this is called minute steak. Now when we start to get a good sear on the bottom, we'll just flip the steak and fry the other side. All right, let's take a look. Oh, that's great. So we'll take the steak out, serve it with our potatoes. We'll turn the heat off so this isn't gonna start smoking too much. And just a little black pepper on top. And then we're gonna add a dollop of flavored butter on top. This one is garlic butter. There we go. And then a few pieces of parsley for garnish. And serve this all with a very, very simple salad. Lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber with a plain vinaigrette. And here we go, Finnish minute steak or Lehtipihvi with some blue cheese, potatoes, a service station classic. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Finish Your Plate.